I'm sure this has happened to you too. You're speaking, sharing an idea, and someone interrupts you. How do you react? Are you frustrated or angry, offended, maybe intimidated or even aggressive? Hi, I'm Ute, and at my international lounge I help internationals become more effective and intentional in communicating across languages, both in family and work settings. Now, dealing with unwanted interruptions can be particularly challenging in intercultural settings. Why? Well, because we often pause then to analyze, is this a cultural thing, or was it intentional, maybe even personal, or just a different way of managing conversations? Let me tell you this. Even if overlapping turns or interruptions are culturally acceptable in some contexts, it's important to assert your boundaries when it feels disruptive. If you stay silent and let it happen repeatedly, you might say less, feel frustrated, or even develop defensive or aggressive reactions, neither of which is productive. So, what can we do when someone talks over us or interrupts? Use body language to signal intent. Now, nonverbal communication is powerful. First of all, don't look down or away. That signalizes submission or avoidance, or even intimidation or acceptance of what the other person is doing. It can also be interpreted as you struggling with finding words, which can encourage, of course, the other person to go ahead. But you want the person to stop. So make eye contact to signalize that you acknowledge the situation, that you are in control of it. Then use hand gestures instead of open-handed gestures like this or this that have an aggressive vibe to them in many cultures. Try these instead. A praying gesture with both hands, or two hands pointing towards the person. Then you can pair it also with clear phrases like, let me finish my thought, or I'm almost done. This combination of visual and verbal cues communicates confidence without aggression. Master strategic pauses. Now, the way we pause in speech matters, especially in multilingual and intercultural settings. Here's an observation. In some cultures like the US, people often use a rising intonation at the end of a sentence, even when it's not a question. This can inadvertently invite interruptions because it sounds like you're asking for input. In order to avoid this, practice pausing in the middle of a sentence or after a phrase where your intonation is neutral, not rising or falling. For example, instead of, I think we should consider changing the timeline, try, I think we should rather change the timeline. Do you hear the difference? The slight adjustment can discourage interruptions and give you more control over the conversation flow. Clarify intentions in the conversation. Sometimes misunderstandings arise because conversational norms differ. If you sense that interruptions are used often in a certain group, you might want to set expectations up front. Say something like, I'll share my idea fully and then we can discuss. Or let's take turns so we can all contribute meaningfully. This is especially effective in work meetings or discussions where collaboration is key. But also in family settings where different communication styles are used, setting clearer communication rules help to have effective conversations where we avoid confrontations and also this falling into a defensive trap. Final thoughts. Navigating interruptions in intercultural settings can feel tricky, but by combining assertive communication with an understanding of cultural nuances, you can create space for your voice to be heard. Remember, effective communication isn't just about talking. It's about shaping how others listen. For more tips on navigating multilingual and intercultural dynamics, visit my website and check out my other videos. Stay confident, stay intentional, and keep fostering meaningful connections. And please share your questions in the comments and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.